Many things go into becoming a football star, but the food that was going into Lionel Messi back then almost took his life. You won't believe how close this guy came to throwing it all away because of his diet. So here's the thing, most football players are all about that healthy lifestyle, right? Cristiano Ronaldo, for example.
When you are young, you're not thinking about too much about that nutrition and to eat good or to drink good. You just start to realize that nutrition is very important with 17, 18, 19 years old. It's a long process. It's a dedication, it's hard work. And for the future, I will try to maintain the same.
The man has a diet stricter than the FBI security system. No jokes. Patrice Evra once said that you should never go to Ronaldo's house for lunch, even if he invites you, because it's going to be one of the most boring lunches of your life. One day, CR7 invited Evra over to lunch after training back when they were teammates, and the Frenchman complained that there wasn't even fizzy water. It was just salads and plain white chicken. He thought he would get meat and juice after the boring meal, but none of that came. Safe to say that Evra was not at all happy with what Cristiano Ronaldo eats. But Lionel Messi? Oh boy, he has a whole different story. When he was younger, apart from football, he had one thing on his mind: junk food. Pizza, candy, cookies, soda, you name it. This dude was addicted, and nobody could stop him. Not even his favorite coach, Pep Guardiola. And boy, did he try. But Messi was just so good that even though things were spiraling out of control, they just let him do his thing. He's the GOAT after all. But not even the GOAT could get away with something this dangerous forever. So eventually, Messi's horrible eating habit caught up with him, and it started to really affect him on the pitch. He would throw up before games, and one day he even threw up on the pitch. It finally hit him. His junk food addiction was wrecking his career and his life. It was time for a major change. So Messi did what any superstar would do. Instead of scrolling online through fake diet programs like me and you, he went straight to his doctor, owned up to his junk food addiction, and his doctor told him he had to make a 180-degree turn. It was do or die, bro. Messi listened and completely switched up his diet. He said goodbye to junk food, fizzy drinks, and red meat, and said hello to fresh fruits, nuts, seeds, salads, and all that healthy stuff. And as expected, it did the magic, and his vomiting stopped. But Messi's former teammate has a much different story, and I'm talking about Marco Verratti. This guy was tipped to be the new Iniesta, and even though he has done well for himself as a footballer, I still don't think he ever reached his full potential. At some point, his coach told him, "Hey bro, you got to lose weight to play in my team." You'd think that would get Verratti to slow down, but he didn't stop, and it affected his fitness. What exactly was he doing? You see, football players are expected to be in top shape, eating the right food, resting and training, but not our boy Marco. He and his teammate Neymar partied all day and all night. Verratti loves smoking, eating pizza and junk food, and downing more alcohol than most of us can afford in a lifetime. This guy loves the party life, and I think he could have been a lot greater than he is if he found a better balance. You know, sort of like his good friend Neymar. Although Neymar is a party animal, he also takes his fitness very seriously. He even once posted a detailed workout plan on his website. After stacking up all the booze and cheese during the off-season, Neymar makes sure to lose the pot belly right in time for a fresh season. His transformations are actually insane. He can go from this to that in 2 weeks. And no, it's not all thanks to the gym. He actually owes much of his body transformation to what he eats. The superstar knows how to fuel his body for peak performance. Here's a little breakdown for you. In the morning, Neymar has a breakfast bonanza, which starts with a protein shake. Then he adds a few slices of lean turkey, 3 fried eggs, and a serving of nutrient-packed spinach. For lunch, aka lunchtime legends, picture this: half a serving of sweet potato accompanied with succulent turkey meatballs and a side of asparagus. Delicious. Neymar's secret weapon is the green chutney that elevates the flavors to new heights. For his third meal, also known as Dinner Delight, Neymar keeps it simple yet satisfying with another protein shake accompanied by delicious white fish and boiled cabbage. The Brazil number 10 then wraps up his day with his midnight snack mix-up, which is a refreshing blend of fruit juice smoothie. But while Neymar's diet looks fair and a little familiar, here comes Erling Haaland, who feeds on the hearts and livers of cows. Yep, you heard that right. Hearts and livers. He revealed this himself in his documentary documentary and even had some portions to show us. He said, "You don't eat this," and I haven't heard a truer statement in my life, cause there's no way I'm ever eating a heart. But I could give you my heart though, if only you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Anyway, Haaland also enjoys his father's special lasagna delicacy, and now that's more my speed. Let's now move from a current city striker to a former one. Mario Balotelli knows how to live life on the edge, and by edge I mean parking tickets, pizzas, cigarettes, and beer. We're talking some serious dough here, both in cash and in calories. See, Balotelli doesn't mess around when it comes to indulging in his guilty pleasures. This dude eats pizzas until he can take no more, and forget about eating healthy. That's the last thing on his mind. This dude is addicted to junk food and sugary drinks, and he's puffing away on over 10 cigarettes a day. Can you believe it? You know what? Let's take a quick trip down memory lane back to Balotelli's time at Manchester City. Back then, this man had his favorite restaurant on speed dial. He was always showing up at the restaurant, and at some point, I guess the owner was probably like, "Why always me?" But it got worse when Balotelli moved to Milan. They were not having any of his junk food shenanigans, so they included healthy eating habits as part of his contract, hoping he'd commit to a better lifestyle. Well, if you know Super Mario, you'd know that nobody can cage the beast. Balotelli simply didn't care about his contract. He had too much dough to bother about some fines, and one time he got caught red-handed smoking a cigarette in the bathroom of a train carrying the Milan team. He didn't care. He also never stopped consuming insane amounts of pizza. Eventually, the club decided they had had enough. Balotelli was married to junk food and nicotine, so they decided not to come between this marriage and let him go. And you could say that, along with his infamous bad behavior, was what made Balotelli fall so far short of his expectation. You know, not everyone can be Eden Hazard. All his career, Hazard has been known as that guy who doesn't train and doesn't say no to junk food, but he still went on to establish himself as one of the true greats of the Premier League. If you ask anyone what does Hazard actually eat, the simple answer would be hamburgers. This guy has turned up to training overweight on a number of occasions, and it's all because of burgers. Listen, Hazard loves hamburgers so much that at some point they started to compete with his love for his country. No kidding. Let me tell you a short story. In June 2011, when Hazard was a 20-year-old bright youngster, he was called up to play a competitive game for Belgium against Turkey. He started the game, but he was so bad that night that the coach took him off in the 60th minute. Instead of Hazard going to join his teammates on the bench, he just said, "Alright, I'ma head out." He left the stadium, and guess what? He was spotted somewhere outside the stadium eating a hamburger with his family while the game was still on. Pictures of him were plastered all across the Belgian media, and they roasted him for days. The whole saga was even named the Burger Gate. 10 years later, after he had moved to the biggest club in the world, nothing had changed. Hazard was still the same old lover of hamburgers, and you could argue that it was the reason he never succeeded in Spain. But regardless, Hazard is still a legend. Could he have been greater if he changed his diet? Maybe, but I don't think I'd say the burger did so much harm to his career. Get it?